For stories that'll make your head spin. But first, show your love for MSA with our awesome bottles and notebooks. Peek at the collection in the description and pick your favorites. Life used to be all fun and games with my twin Nadia. We did everything together. Watched cartoons, played games, and even wore identical clothes. We were so alike, even our parents got mixed up. But as we grew older, things changed. We started liking different things, and by the time we were in 5th grade, everyone saw that Nadia was way smarter than me. Mom was a university teacher, and she was always talking about Nadia's good grades to everyone and giving her extra lessons. She tried with me once, but when I didn't understand quickly, she just sighed. Some kids shine, others don't. It made me feel bad. Nadia's study sessions grew longer, and our playtime disappeared, like our matching outfits. How about a cartoon break? For old time's sake. Can't. Mom thinks they're just a distraction now. And then, Mom started giving me more and more house chores. At first, I didn't mind helping, but then I noticed she was doing it on purpose to keep me away from my sister. Leave your sister alone. She's studying. Go wash the dishes. But I just wanted a little help with my math. Ask your teacher for help. Nadia's busy, and those dishes aren't going to wash themselves. And after that, you can organize your closet. If you can't manage that mess, you're not going to get very far ahead in life.
You don't always have to be like that. It's all right, Christina, honey. Let's go do the dishes together.
Nadia and I were growing distant. Mom paid me no attention, and she and Dad fought a lot, mostly about the way she treated me. And I couldn't help feeling that I was the reason our family was tearing apart. Eventually, Mom and Dad split up, and I ended up moving out with Dad to a really dingy apartment.
Look on the bright side, honey. Adventures await us.
Adventures, huh? More like nightly mouse marathons and indoor rain.
This place just needs a little love. And you can choose the decor. Pink for your room.
Maybe black, just like my future. Surprisingly, I came home to find one wall in my room painted black.
Dark moments show us how the little things can shine.
He put bright flowers against the black wall.
Notice how the colors stand out now?
It's pretty, I guess.
You'll understand someday. Always look for the bright spots.
Positive thinking was tough, especially with school growing weirder by the day. Everyone at school thought of me as the other dumb sister. Even my teachers seemed to feel sorry for me. Christina, maybe put in some extra effort? You might surprise yourself. Sure, I'll ask Mom for help. Oh, wait, she's too busy with her star student. I left the classroom upset when I heard Nadia's voice behind me in the hallway. What's wrong now? Just another day of me growing tired of being compared to you. It's not my fault. I just keep to myself. It must be nice not worrying about anyone else. I was walking off, but Nadia grabbed my arm. Hey, listen, I know you're upset, but there's something I can't tell you right now. It's why I am the way I am now. Please trust me. Or maybe you're just self-absorbed, and that's some stupid, mysterious lie you made up to make yourself sound more interesting. Well, it's not working, 'cause not interested. Later, Nadia went to a fancy school for smart kids, and things got quiet. I missed her a lot, because even though we drifted apart, she was still my twin after all. And after that, I hardly saw her anymore. Even when I visited Mom's place, Mom was always too wrapped up in her own world, and I couldn't help but notice that among the family photos on the walls, there wasn't a single one of just me. On my 15th birthday, Dad had a big grin and said he had a surprise for me.
Guess what? I've got a girlfriend. She's Italian and she owns a pet shop. Let's go see it. Vanessa's super cool. You'll see.
We walked into the pet shop, and it was like a jungle. Instead of puppies and kittens, there were snakes and big bugs. Holy moly, what is this? Vanessa had a big snake around her neck and smiled.
That's just Ziggy, my whip scorpion. He's nice once you get to know him.
Vanessa was full of energy and made the scary animals seem cool.
And this majestic creature is Mr. Bean, the python. He's quite the gentleman.
I thought I was the man in your life.
Oh, you are. But Mr. Bean here is the silent type, and he never complains about my cooking.
The way they were flirting with each other was so cringy. On the drive back, Dad wouldn't stop talking about Vanessa, and it was too much. Dad, I like Vanessa, but I'm not ready for a new mom. He looked sad, but I had to say it. Next time he invited me out with them, I said no. It felt like everyone was moving on except me. Dad had Vanessa, Nadia was busy being smart, and here I was feeling stuck and unnoticed. Vanessa, the snake lady, started hanging out at our place a lot. One afternoon, she was trying to bake a pumpkin pie, and she dumped a whole bag of flour on the floor and then tripped over the cat. I couldn't help laughing, even though I was trying to ignore her. After After some time, Vanessa plopped a piece of pie in front of me, raising an eyebrow.
Truce?
She asked, and honestly, it smelled too good to ignore.
Look, I know you don't like having me in your dad's life, and honestly, I never saw myself as a stepmom. I'm more like a free spirit, you know? But hey, your dad's got my heart doing cartwheels, so let's try to be friends, huh? I'm not like your typical stepmom witch type.
Does that mean you won't give me a hard time for eating junk food?
I'm the one offering pie for lunch, aren't I?
Okay, she was quirky, and she had a point. Later on, I found myself helping her cook, and Dad got all teary seeing us getting along. Turns out, Vanessa was kinda cool to have around, but I still felt a bit like I was on the sidelines of everyone else's game. One day in my room, I noticed the flowers next to the black wall looking sad, their petals falling. Time for new flowers. Fresh flowers had become my thing. They cheered out the room. At the flower shop, I met Mrs. Garcia for the first time. She was super cool, zipping around in her wheelchair, arranging bouquets with the biggest smile.
Pick whatever makes you smile, Christina.
She said, handing me the brightest bunch. I walked out of the flower shop, super happy with my new flowers. I wasn't looking where I was going and didn't see a bike coming. It knocked me over, and I blacked out. I woke up in a hospital bed, and Nadia was there, looking super worried. She ran off to find Dad as soon as I opened my eyes. The doctor said I'd hit my head pretty badly and was out for 3 whole days, but they checked me over and said I could go home. Back in my room, something about my flowers caught my eye. They seemed cooler somehow. I grabbed a pen and paper and started drawing, really getting into all the shapes and patterns I could see. What's up with you? Did you know flowers are kind of like math? They've got these patterns that are all just cool. Nadia looked at my drawings and turned white as a ghost. No way. Here, try these math problems. Stuff that used to look like alien code suddenly just made sense. I even solved the complex equations. Did my brain just level up or what? We gotta tell Mom, like she'd care to check on me. She's not heartless, okay? She was actually worried. Don't defend her. You don't know everything. Then tell me. I told you, I can't. Ugh, then just go ahead and leave. I don't even want to know your stupid secret. Later, when Mom popped by, she barely glanced at Dad and Vanessa and came straight to me with a stack of papers. Time for a little test, Christina. After I finished, she examined the papers and just said, pack up. You're staying with me now.
What? Can we talk about this first?
No need. She's got a gift, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't go to waste.
Wait, you can't just show up and decide to take her. Where were you before, and why are you suddenly loving her now?
My God, I can't believe I'm even standing here listening to you, a nobody. I'm her mother. But if you must know, Christina might have acquired savant syndrome, and it's not something either of you can deal with. I can help her. She explained that sometimes a head bump can switch on a talent for things like art or math. She thought that's what had happened to me, and I couldn't help feeling excited. Could this be my shot to shine and get Mom's attention? I begged Dad, and finally, he said yes.
Better watch out, Christina. My cousin in Rome got that acquire servant syndrome. He became arrogant and a real pain. Then he bumped his head again and went back to being stupid. Not that you're stupid, but you know what I mean.
What kind of dumb syndrome is that, Vanessa? Did you come up with it while watching cartoons? I ignored Mom and ran to hug Vanessa before leaving. Mom enrolled me in Nadia's school, and on my first day, I felt nervous. But I noticed Nadia was popular, and people were also interested in me. When they wondered why I just started there, Nadia jumped in. She was sick and overseas for treatment. Come on, Christina. Later, I asked her why she lied. Mom's orders. Just play along, okay? That sounded weird, but I brushed it off because I had lots to do. Before long, I caught up with all the schoolwork and even started getting better grades than Nadia. That's when Mom finally said she was proud of me for the first time in my life. And late one night, I overheard Mom screaming at Nadia in the living room.
You call this a report card? Pathetic. All the years I spent working so hard with you, down the drain.
I'm trying my best.
Your best? Your best is a joke. You're nothing like your sister. If you don't smarten up, you'll be a nobody, just like your father.
Hearing this, I felt stunned. Why was Mom being so harsh with Nadia? And calling Dad a loser? That was just mean. I snuck into Nadia's room later and told her I heard the argument. Great, now what? Mom's on my case, expecting the best, and you're making it harder. You're doing all this for her? Yes, she's always pushing me, being super strict. If I don't do well, she gets really mean, and I can't deal with that. I didn't say anything before about how mean she is, because I thought I wanted to be the best too, and she was helping me. Now, it just feels like she's making me miserable. Mom was even tougher on Nadia than I thought, and hearing that shook me. And now, Mom was dragging me to these math contests too that usually Nadia competed in. I didn't want to stress out Nadia more, but I also wanted to shine. Was that so bad? And soon, I was winning the math contests with record-breaking results. People started calling me a genius. Reporters interviewed me, I got my pictures taken, and I even spoke at Mom's university. All that praise and validation should have felt good, but somehow I still felt empty inside. This isn't what I wanted. Ugh! That weekend, I needed to clear my head, so I visited Dad. On the way, I stopped by the old flower shop. Mrs. Garcia was there.
Hey, Christina, what's new?
How are you feeling now after the accident? And catching up with her, I spilled out my whole story. She was putting together a bouquet as she listened. Then she looked up and said, "You know, Christina, a flower doesn't worry about being the tallest or the brightest in the bunch. It just grows at its own pace. That's kind of like us too." Suddenly, it made sense. Being myself was enough, whether I was winning math contests or not. Dad, Vanessa, and my friends didn't care about any trophies. They just liked me for me. They always had. Mom was the one caught up in who was the tallest, brightest flower. But Mrs. Garcia saw something else. A garden where every flower mattered. Seeing Nadia so unhappy, just trying to please Mom, made me sad. I used to be jealous, but not anymore. And I decided that something had to change. I got Dad and Vanessa on board, and we cooked up a plan. We just needed the perfect time to kick it off. That chance came during a live TV interview with me and Mom. The host asked me what it was like growing up with a ton of books.
She loved it.
Actually, that was Nadia. She always had her head in a book and never got to have any fun. The crowd was shocked, and Mom got stiff. I wasn't the bookworm. My smarts came after a head bump.
You mean the illness you had?
That's just Mom's story. She didn't want to acknowledge she had a dumb kid, I guess. Be quiet. I won't. And I don't care about winning math contests. Nadia doesn't either. We're done trying to please you. With that, I walked off and went backstage to find Nadia. Why'd you do that? Mom didn't bat an eye when she separated us, ruined her marriage, and used you to become popular. She ignored me all my life, and now she's using me. Nadia, we deserve better. Aren't you tired of being Mom's puppet? Come with me. We bolted before Mom could stop us. Dad was outside, ready to whisk us away.
You can't take my kids.
They're old enough to choose. Or do you want to take this up in court?
Mom looked furious, but she stayed quiet, and we went home. Vanessa had a lovely dinner waiting, and it felt like a fresh start. And Nadia started helping Vanessa with the snakes, and it seemed to be her calling working with those slimy creatures. As for me, I'm still figuring things out. But for now, I'm just happy with the good